Real Madrid is adapting to Xabi Alonso's tactical system. Alonso wants to use player proximity to break compact defenses. They use a classic positional system with the intention of offering multiple penetrative options for the deep dictator. The idea is simple: move the ball to move the opposition. This movement can create space and it can be attacked using quick combinations. Here the opposition is pretty compact with a back 5 and a midfield line of 4. The only available space is in front of the midfield line. Again the idea is simple: attack the space and make use of the player proximity. Even though the striker drop, a midfielder is providing the depth and it won't work without Guler. It shows how players interchange positions without compromising the structure. As the trio combine, the narrow left back recognized another free space opening up and attacked it. This inherent understanding from the players makes the system work. It's a perfect shape from Madrid as they have players in both half spaces with width provided on both flanks and a three-man base to support the attack and prevent counterattacks. We have the same positional structure again, but this time the winger is in the half space with the fullback wide, while in the previous sequence it was the opposite, but it's still the same structure. Here it's the right winger in the middle to form that typical trio that we saw in the previous sequence. The movements are the same, with the winger attacking the half space, while Guler and Mastantuono are closely positioned for the diagonal combination. When Mbappe combined with Valverde using the diagonal pass in the previous one, it's Guler and Mastantuono here, while Mbappe acted as the depth provider to pin the center back and create space. So these intricate combinations are becoming one of the key attacking patterns for Madrid. But I think players can be better at recognizing the hidden potential behind each situation. Here we have a typical scenario with the winger inverted and the fullback wide. The striker has moved towards the ball side and can manipulate the backline. Madrid has a temporary 4 vs 3 and they can actually beat the defense with clever movements. As Guler gets the ball, he has a diagonal option as a midfielder is acting like a striker. There is a potential gap inside of the defensive block, and if a pass is played to attack that space, defenders will panic and try to shut down this space. In addition, they will be very cautious of Mbappe in this situation. When the pass is played to Valverde, Rodrigo will automatically move towards the ball to make that combination, and this will further attract the defenders towards this space. This means there will be space behind the backline for the left back to run into, and Rodrigo can easily play him. It's a common attack done by many teams in these areas, and Alonso can definitely train such patterns into his attackers. He is already giving a lot of freedom for his players to move out of their position. Here the right winger was casually moving in the center, but when he recognized a potential free space, he didn't hesitate to move to the left. The intention is just to attack the space, and Alonso does not place too many positional constraints on players. The positional rotations are used constantly to create space. Here the ball is played to the winger and Madrid has that positional structure. Now the winger moves inside to play it back and the midfielder takes his place to complete the first positional rotation. Another midfielder has now replaced Valverde. Let's see how these movements disrupted the opposition. The winger's inside movement dragged the left wing back out of position. As Valverde replaced the winger, he became the free option. So the opposition pushed the left centre back wide to close him. So two defenders are already out of position now. Then Guler moves wide to attack this space and it dragged another centre back. This made the remaining centre back isolated against Mbappe. So the whole structure is compromised now as there is a huge hole in the backline. The winger threatens to attack this hole and both the wingback and midfielder had to retreat and close this vulnerable gap. This made Mastantuono free. See how much space is now created as a result of those positional interchanges. Madrid has destabilized the whole structure and the ball carrier is free to release Mbappe in a 1v1. These half space areas are always a potential target for Madrid's attacks. As I have said in my previous videos, the narrow positioning of the fullback will automatically create that pressing dilemma. As soon as Hausen started carrying, Güler recognized the pattern and moved out of Mbappe's line. This simply created a 2v1 and the duo can easily combine. This same pattern was seen in the last three matches. Whenever the ball is played wide, the opposition will obviously take some time to reorganize. This will give the deep playmakers in half spaces enough time to penetrate the midfield line. These passes from half spaces are a common attacking pattern by Madrid. So it's clear that Madrid is showing visible improvements under Alonso, and it will take some time to completely adapt to his system.